when we look at personality disorders, we have 10 of them. And we split them up into 3 categories: cluster A, cluster B, cluster C. Real creative things to call them. But cluster A refers to paranoid, schizoid, and schizotypal personality disorders. These are the odd, bizarre folks that you might run across in life. Paranoid, if you think of one word, you think of suspicious. These folks are suspicious of others, their motivations, their what they want from you. You're suspicious. You're distrusting. That's another word you might think of. Distrustful, distrusting, certainly suspicious. Suspiciousness. So that kind of, that infiltrates, it permeates your whole center of being. And there are a whole other list of criteria that go with that, but that's the main one. Schizoid, when you think of schizoid, think of asocial, the word asocial. If you think of typical and atypical, atypical means not typical. So social and asocial, asocial means not social. I have no social needs. I don't need to be around people. Like that picture is of Ted Kaczynski, who is the Unabomber. He was very content to go out in the middle of nowhere in the woods, build his own little cabin, and live out there alone. He had no social needs. Family members, every so often his brother would come out to visit him. He didn't really want the visit. Again, this is a person who could be perfectly content being by himself or herself. So asocial. Not anti-aggressive necessarily, just not social. Schizotypal is probably the most bizarre of the 3. They would have maybe belief in telepathic powers or clairvoyant abilities. They'd be maybe talking to themselves a lot, but they're odd. They're really strange. So cluster A in general are odd, bizarre, and you got these 3 categories underneath it. I had the 8 ball there. It's like they're odd. They're like 8 balls.